It's time for the final here at the Billabong Pro Tahiti. Gabriel Medina taking on Julian Wilson yet again in a final at a championship tour event. This matchup, though, here is a first at Teahupo'o. Julian's first final appearance, but he knows Medina's game plan. They know each other in and out, and we'll see who ends up taking over the start of this heat. Medina wears red. Julian wears blue. Julian now gets around Medina, but can't get in. Medina locks in and driving through a long stretched out section. Will he make it out over the foam ball? And he gets hung up and goes down, almost pulling off a miracle exit towards the tail end.
All of a sudden, Gabriel's got the upper hand, even though he didn't make that wave. Look at him. He's just got the position. He's got the drive. He almost came out of this, by the way. He almost came out of that tube ride, and I mean, had he come out of that, it would have been a 10-point ride straight away. So Gabriel Medina just has a way of ruffling feathers, and both with Kolohe Dino and Julian Wilson, watch the hands go up in the air. You can see, look, already Julian's frustrated, so he's not playing the game that he's played all day.
In, now free to roam without priority. He'll lock into the tube on the inside corner. Quick exit, now off the roof. Second maneuver down the line, a bit of a layback, and he'll hop out of there.
And let's have a look at this wave. It's not going to be a classic one, and I doubt it's going to be a keeper by the end of the final, but it's got the ball rolling for Medina. Look at the energy that he's carrying. He's got he's carrying some speed. He's got some pizzazz happening. He's been here before. It feels like he owns this place. Julian's got to try and settle down, take a couple of deep breaths, and not really worry about what Medina's going to do for the rest of the heat. Now the priority will exchange.
Literally in the lineup. Here's Julian on one. He's going to drop in, grab the wall. He's got everything going down the line, feeling his way through. Nice, clears the hair, comes through. Beautiful ride right there on the open. He's going to snap off the top. Beautiful arc. Right onto the inside for a closer. Right onto the dry reef. So great opener for Julian Wilson at this style of Teahupo'o. He's just on fire. You know, he's razor sharp. He's on point. He's just going ballistic. But that said, that opener of Julian was quite nice. I mean, perfect little tube time, came out, big arc, and then a slam shut. So, well, two of the best in the world, forehand, backhand. It's going to be a great Duke show.
How'd you like the entry into the barrel pots?
Yeah, well, he's been doing this the entire event. You know, he's been picking the right waves.
Catching up to live action real quick with Medina going down.
Well, let's have a look at Gabriel Medina. Pulling into a little barrel there, and that's not what he's going to be looking for, but where he dropped that high nine, here he goes.
Gabriel Medina, bottom turns, two arms in the wall, slows down, super deep, comes out after the spin. Here comes the rail work. The former world champ freestyling through the inside with a little off the top. And this heat is officially on. Started off scrappy just for priority to get the first wave. And now going blow for blow pots.
Gabriel Medina is going to answer back with a solid score. You can see dropping down here. Now he slows himself down. Look at the style. He's leaning forward, using both hands. And then I love this turn right here, just hooking it all the way around. Never satisfied with just a couple of turns. He likes to finish his waves all the way through the inside and kicks out of that one. So a great wave there for Gabriel Medina. Perfect positioning, leaning forward, using both those hands, and then comes out with that beautiful fade that draws him into that perfect spot to unload some big turns. Gabriel Medina looking sharp, looking like he's got a lot of energy still, and a beautiful wave there for Gabriel Medina. 7 for Julian, so I think this is going to be a little higher. He's going to back that 5 up with a solid score, and Medina's going to extend his lead somewhat over Julian. And also mix it up with some pipe waves, but Julian Wilson a little bit too strong on the day, and as you said, the decision was made on the beach. Are we going to see the same thing here? Fingers crossed. I hope so.
I hope so, as we get right back into action with Medina. Getting a big hack on the inside, the subtle claim. Already had the lead under the priority of Julian. Julian's been waiting for this wave, though. Wilson up. Bottom turns, packs it deep. Has his rail set, it's going wide open. And Julian ends up getting hung up. This was what happened on the takeoff.
Yeah, you can't, I think just drawing down too far down, and I'll tell you what, he traveled a fair way. It's really difficult at Teahupo'o to go straight down and bottom turn and still get enough speed. This was Medina. Bonus section through the inside, traveling out of that one. So looking to better a 5. Oh my goodness, that turn was insane. Straight into that combination of major turns. And still fired up. Gabriel Medina, well, a crumbly section on the first part, then backdoored the next section. Came out nice and clean, and that wave grew. Now look at this turn. Talk about on the edge, talk about combination of moves, just setting that up nicely and banging it just for good measure through the inside. The judges absolutely ate that one up, and it's all of a sudden daunting situation for Julian Wilson.
11:50, Wilson trying to come back from a big combination. Nice and deep, slams on the brakes. Doesn't want to come out too early. Still stalling. Did he do a good job of coming out of the low road and now into a carve? Nice jam one more time. Sealing it with maneuvers. He's not afraid of that reef. Fits in a big bonus third, and he's out.
A little bit of a different approach, but geez, he's spent so much time in the barrel. Great technique just to slow down and still keep an eye on that wave to make sure that he did come out of it. And then there you see that first turn. Now he starts to crank it up. This next turn better. Bang, beautiful turn. And again, another nice smooth carving maneuver for Julian Wilson. He needs something up into the 8-point range just to get out of the combo situation. Let's have a look at this. Not super deep, but quite a long barrel. So I think we're going to see this be a good score for Julian. Quite possibly get himself out of that combo and just require that single score to try and win this thing. Medina, though, I've got a funny feeling he's not done yet on his opening strike. But Gabriel Medina not to be outdone. I mean, this kid is an absolute freak when it comes to this wave. No matter how it is, how big it is, how small it is, Medina's going to be always tough to beat. And look at this, perfect positioning, perfect timing here for Gabriel Medina.
Or could it be with Medina? This is the 9-2-3 for Wilson Potts.
Wow, look at that. Late takeoff, under the lip, as late as you can. And Julian Wilson flies out of the end of that one. The judges loved it, a 9.23.
To take off late, knifing it. Wilson's right back in the game. Late takeoff once again. He's got a lot of room. Stalling, the wave spins first and lets him out. Sets that beautiful roundhouse cutback. He throws away the finish, but Medina's on an answer. Nice and deep. It's a messier barrel. That one's going to shut him down. 3:10 on the clock, where Julian was chasing an 8.64.
Let's have a look. There's a late drop. Slid straight into it. Slide himself down. Watch this thing unload as it spits, and he comes out after the spit. Now that's about as deep as you can possibly go. Big wraparound cutting and bangs it off the lip, but unfortunately doesn't make it. Let's have a look from the channel angle as he slides in. Perfect positioning. The thing unloads and spits, and Julian comes out after the fact, which is, you've got to say, that's about as deep as you can get on that wave. You know, once that thing spits, it kind of collapses. Basically the air that's holding it together, and once that air gets unloaded, that wave will just collapse. So Julian Wilson timing that to perfection. You can see as he stands up, he doesn't let go of the right hand. The right hand holding that rail, the left hand feeling the face of the wave. You can see him touching it. Now he starts to slow down, understanding the dynamics of the wave, which way it's moving, how fast he's going, how much speed he needs to wipe off. As he slides through this barrel, the thing starts to regurgitate, and in doing so, fires him out there like a cannonball out of a cannon. Julian Wilson, what a score. Have a look at that, Joe.
9.73 for Julian, and the lead over Medina as he's been chasing him for this entire matchup.
Medina paddles over.
Already gives Julian a high five, but we've seen this happen before, where sometimes that handshake comes a little bit too early. There's still a little bit of time on the clock. Medina taking a smaller little insider. He'll just change his position now. So we'll see if he can pull off a miracle of 15 on the clock, as we have one with a little more west starting to pop up now.
Yeah, a little bit too deep, I think, for Gabriel Medina there. 10 seconds. Oh, wow, what a final, Joe.
Unbelievable seeing these two matched up yet again in a wave of consequence, as we'll make it official. Julian Wilson is your 2017 Billabong Pro Tahiti champion.
Julian Wilson, you little ripper. That was insane. What a performance. Never say die. He was in a combo situation within a space of minutes. fought his way out of it, dropped a 9.23, a 9.73, turned the tables on one of the all-time greats out here at Teahupo'o. Wow.